Well, I think it reflects a deep change in terms of how people see how we're going to develop good ways of living with each other, whether that's good policies, good institutions, and so on. And at the heart of it, I think, is the idea that we can't build successful societies by giving power to a small group, putting them in charge, and then the rest of us will sort of follow along or make limited choices about different proposals that are made. Rather, we're viewing, I think, now a world in which we want to tap the entire pool of talent, the entire pool of ideas out there about how we might build a different world. So social media opens those doors up in ways that I think people are seeking in terms of expressing ideas and opinions and so on. And it's opening up that conversation and bringing in all groups, all different backgrounds and so on. It's opening up that door. Now we know there are limits to that in terms of the digital world is creating new divides as well and levels of engagement and so on. But I think it's reflecting a very different notion of how we're going to build successful societies. And I think the new attitude is we have to engage all of us, and we have to, I think, open the doors at least to the possibility that all of us can contribute in terms of new policies, new structures, and so on. Well, I think the role of think tanks is really on the side of helping us get through the infinite amount, it seems these days, of input in the social media space. And one way to think about this is the role of think tanks in terms of filtering that in specific ways, in terms of curating it, bringing together relevant pieces for us so that we can engage in efficient kinds of ways. Also in terms of monitoring, in terms of helping us have conversations that at some level have some informed input at times. For example, you think about the success of Wikipedia that was able to create a whole new encyclopedia that people consider have a fair level of credibility, but they had to also have a steering committee, some limits to this, monitoring it in a certain kinds of way, and think tanks can do that. And obviously, as we see here today, that convening ability, that ability to bring into the room conversations that can extend not simply to the physical room, but the e-room, and can get us engaged in a way on important issues that I think demand our attention. So the role of think tanks, I think, has changed dramatically. It's no longer a top-down kind of approach, it's an engagement approach. And I think that's a key way in which think tanks can help us build successful societies in this changing era.